Trump's attorney Sidney Powell has revealed that Eric Coomer, Dominion's head of product and strategy, has disappeared. In an interview with Newsmax, she also said that its headquarters in Toronto and Denver, Colorado, are empty. The Dominion voting software has come under heavy scrutiny recently for suspected election fraud, manipulating votes from one candidate to the other. Representatives from Dominion also did not attend a court hearing in Pennsylvania on November 19, where the House of Representatives were planning to question Dominion on possible election manipulation. This has raised suspicions online that they may have something to hide. On the Toronto headquarters closure, Powell said, the Dominion office suddenly closed and moved away from Toronto. The headquarters originally shared the office with Soros Corporation. Its U.S. headquarters in Denver was also suddenly closed and moved away. Their employees deleted their names from LinkedIn. It also deleted any relationship with the company. More than 100 employees of the company did this. Joe Altman from Gateway Pundit also investigated further into Eric Coomer and found out that he has ties to Antifa, a far-left organization that is also anti-Trump. He claimed that he infiltrated an online Antifa meeting, and during which, Antifa members referred to him as Eric from Dominion. Altman also said that during the call, someone asked, "What are we going to do if Trump wins?" To which Coomer allegedly replied, "Don't worry about the election, Trump's not gonna win. I made sure of that." After exposing Coomer's background, Altman has since been suspended from Twitter and has received death threats.
So I guess you guys heard that Sidney Powell did file her 104-page brief. And at this stage in the proceedings, she's not even required to present any evidence yet. But there was enough evidence that I wanted to throw a couple of updates out here. The first one is what you just heard. All of the missing employees in the offices are wiped out and they're not even showing up for their court hearings. And according to a massive WikiLeaks dump on Tuesday, Kraken is a CIA algorithm, a hacking program. WikiLeaks has dumped 8,761 CIA documents revealing CIA base in Frankfurt, Germany, which was used to hack elections. In Vault 7, the first full part of the series, Year Zero, comprises the 8,761 documents. So I'm still working my way through the WikiLeaks dump. It's over 8,000 documents. It's a lot to read. I will make a full-length video when I can wrap my mind around it and put it into context. But that's kind of the updates. Kraken is a DOD cyber warfare program. But from what I've read so far, this isn't just about the enemy, about the deep state CIA, the bad guys. The white hats also used this same program to track them, to track all of their infiltrations, all the way through the social media companies, into the phone companies and the media companies. And I believe that's why when we saw that big DDoS attack that I posted in the Great Reset video, I put it in there, and I also put it in the Operation Dark Winter video. I believe that's what we saw, was them releasing the Kraken. So from what I understand so far, it's not just that was the software that the deep state was using, but that's the software that the white hats that Sidney Powell is working with loosed to retrieve the evidence that they needed against even the social media companies, that, like all the codes that I was showing, they had attached to all of us on their enemies list. That I showed all of that in the last video. Well, apparently they have the evidence now, and that's what these hearings are about. That's why they started the hearings back in 2016 against the social media companies, gathering all of our personal information and selling it to third parties in communist countries. And now the 2020 hearings are about this censorship. Now the Kraken, in the right hands, can be used like a seek and destroy missile to track where these attacks are coming from, to acquire evidence of nefarious actions of enemies at home and abroad. So I believe that's the DDoS attack that we saw. Dozens of zero-day weaponized exploits against a wide range of US and European company products include Apple's iPhone, Google's Android, Microsoft's Windows, and even Samsung TVs, which are turned into covert microphones. This is what we were talking about, Facebook listening in on us in that last video. That's why President Trump came out and told us about the communist Chinese components in TikTok, and also the 5G that they banned Huawei. Several nations, Sweden banned Huawei, UK banned Huawei. This is the company right here on the screen. That Huawei, these were the Chinese components that were leaving a back door open into the entire 5G broadcast system, which led to the ability for them to beam frequencies over us. Remember that when all the U.S. diplomats got sick from those cyber attack or those frequency attacks? Here's October 2017 article on CBS News. And as Sidney Powell said, Cuba and Venezuela are players in this Dominion software voting machine fraud, as well as software components from China. So that's what was going on. They knew. President Trump, that's why he signed that executive order and passed this legislation, Reliable and Safe Network. President Donald J. Trump signed new legislation to ensure that our nation's communications networks are protected from foreign adversaries.
So the big new news now is that the US government signed an executive order into effect that added Huawei to effectively a blacklist of companies that are restricted from doing any business with any US company at all. That's basically what went down, and now the implications from that have run far and wide. I mean, nothing's really rocked the tech world quite like this in a little while. So the biggest, most obvious headline from this is Google.
Of course, Google was in bed with Huawei. This cabal has spent decades getting this infrastructure into place, and Trump's just going around blowing it up. So in the hands of the enemy, yes, tools like the Kraken can be devastating, cyber warfare tools, but in the hands of the good guys, this is what they used to track down the raw data, and found that it was processed in Germany and then sent to the United States, to a particular state, which I'll wait until I get through all the documents to tell you the details on that to make sure I have it right. But there was a state in the United States that was processing, that was like a headquarters for this Dominion, besides their official headquarters. So that's why Sidney Powell said in the press conference when they asked her, is this true about the server in Germany? And she said, yes, it is, but I'm not sure if the good guys got it or the bad guys got it. But that's the update. They did release the Kraken.
Are you watching this, folks? This is real-time evidence of a massive DDoS attack on the entire internet. I have never seen anything like this. We are witnessing an attack on a grand scale. This is absolute chaos. YouTube is down, websites are down, Verizon is down, Netflix is down, all these websites are going down. Look at the number of attacks, folks. We're over 270. I cannot even follow this, and it's coming from all over the world. A massive DDoS attack on the entire world. This is the website that tracks people having problems accessing websites, and you can see that YouTube, YouTube TV, YouTube Music, Google, Comcast, Google Play, Verizon, many other big websites like Netflix and Twitter, all of them were being attacked by this DDoSing.